Okay, good morning, everyone, and Assalamualaikum, Hisham. Thank you so much for logging in into our very first When Dragons Speak. This is our very first session for 2024. We just concluded Where Dragons Meet over the last weekend. Hopefully it's going to be one of the many to come. So we're very, very excited over this year. My dragon boy here is a wood dragon, so it's a wood dragon.
It's my year. It's my year this year. Yeah. We're very dragonish on Malaysia and on the world this year.
Yes, yay! And it just so happened that according to Master Ray, when we did our session last year, he did a reading on my chart. So apparently last year was the beginning of my 10-year cycle lah.
Your new cycle. Everyone have a 10-year cycle. So that last year was your first year on your new 10-year cycle.
There you go. So I was really stoked over what I heard from last year, and then the new year, our Chinese New Year last year hit. And then it just so happened that, Alhamdulillah, 2023 has been a fantastic year for Dragonfire. And we are hoping to have 2024 onwards.
We're planning for it to be a good year. A fantastic year, actually. But we'll listen to what Ray has to say about the year of the wood dragon this year, and what's in store, especially when it comes to career.
Yes, especially when it comes to career employability. For those of us who are still on a lookout, and as well for those of those organizations who are on a lookout as well for talent. But the focus today, there will be a few things. I hope that you guys will ask questions, and even if any one of you who wants to get the kind consultation from Ray, we'll be very happy to arrange the meetup with you, or you can get in touch with Ray directly. And he will explain to you that it's not, some sort of future telling or fortune telling. It's not. It's basically trying to plan and living out the best of what we have in terms of resources, and trying to do things differently, I suppose, in order for us to be progressive in our career, and of course, finding the happiness and health and all that. So let me just read out on Ray's bio. So Ray and us, we've gone long way back. I don't know, 6-7 years, Ray. I think during that time when we did our MBA, and we just so happened to be
at an institution which shall not be named.
And that's how we met. We clicked. Ray has been our friends for a very long time, and for the past 3 to 4 years, we've called him just before Chinese New Year to do a bit of awareness about what's coming in the year. And I think this is something really, really interesting for us, especially with Dragonfire being
dragon, you're
dragon. Okay, so with over 30 years of experience, Master Ray Goh did his studies and research on metaphysics, destiny, astrology, and Feng Shui, and started off by providing consultation through a non-profit organization. So this is something very interesting. As a teenager, he developed great interest in metaphysics, astrology, numerology, zodiac, phase reading, date selection, and palmistry. Way back in 1990, Master Goh started receiving formal training and built a solid foundation with many notable masters, accepted as their in-house disciple, and did his practical training and even R&D. Yes, and did his R&D in metaphysics with years of practice through assisting his master in translation audits and teaching classes. He had gained ample experience to practice independently. So who knew, right? There are R&D, there are research, there's practical classes for metaphysics. And let me see. So Central Academy of Feng Shui Cheras was started by Master Liao and Sifu Madam Yap in the 1980s. And MYFAD, Ziwei Bazi Academy, the Ziwei Doshu School was formed in the 1990s. In 2008, Master Goh was appointed by the Sifu to head the Ziwei Doshu School and has been teaching and will continue to impart knowledge and experience of the metaphysics to the student. So guys, as I mentioned, feel free to get in touch with us or Master Ray in this case, if you want to do a bit of reading, you know, for just trying to figure out what can be done for the year with what you have. So there you go. All right, so as I mentioned, make sure you guys ask questions. We have a bit of time today. Ray, is there anything before we start?
No, thank you for the introduction. I think after a few years of doing it, you're getting better and better in all this in terms of yeah, it's very true what Hanie said. This is not only about it's nothing magical. It is actually also using data to do we do a forecast. It's like how when a doctor takes up a medical in the medical field, how does he learn how to detect sickness in somebody? He learns it from the courses and the past data, and from whatever he learned, he gives you a forecast or a prediction based, like if he tests your blood, he will tell you this kind of blood will be prone for what kind of sickness. So he's actually doing a forecast for you. So this is actually, we use the previous data that has been developed over 2000 years in China, and then we use it to do a forecast for you on your path ahead. It's like you learning financial knowledge, and then you do a forecast in the market and what are the possibility of what shares are good. So these are all based on data and forecasting. So this is actually how it's done, the Chinese metaphysics. It's nothing magical. It does not talk about any God, neither it is spiritual. It is mainly about data and analysis and assisting you how to plan. For example, if you do analysis through Hanie on your profile, and then you understand your strength and weakness better, then from there, it can help you to select scientifically how to select your career or your strength. So we use the old method, which is the Chinese metaphysics method, which you can combine to use it to give you a better management of how should you plan your life. So there's actually the same kind of things, but it's just that this is founded in China.
Okay, shall we share your slide, Ray? Just to give a bit of context to what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about the period 9. I've always accounted this period 9 whenever we talk about Feng Shui. Maybe perhaps you can explain it a little bit better, and you know, the kind of impact about the wood dragon on those people who are looking for jobs, for example, because I'm very sure this will be of a key interest.
Let me explain a little bit what is called Feng Shui. Feng Shui is actually is a system to utilize the energy in the Chinese system. They use this to find out the land energy, and they use this system to help them to enhance or boost the use of energy from the land to tap into human being to strengthen the we call it the chi, but you can call it the cosmic energy to enhance your, it's like you go to a very peaceful place, okay, then you feel more peaceful, or you go to a very tense place, you feel more tense. So the land energy in fact helps or changes how we react as humans. So Feng Shui is all about talking how we utilize the land energy. Again, it is not spiritual, it is not about God, it is just using the land energy. So that is Feng Shui. So in Feng Shui, why it is such a hot topic to talk about period 9? Because in Feng Shui, the system, there's a 20 years cycle for Feng Shui. For human chart, where we do the astrology reading, that's a 10-year cycle. But in Feng Shui, there's a 20 years mapping change of energy. It means in every 20 years, there will be a change of energy in the big formation. So that is why we call it the period 9. So period 8 was like what I told you, the older days. The period 8, it ranges from 2004 to 2024, and this is the year that we go into period 9. Period 8 is more about young men. So you see a lot of young guys entrepreneur. You see the Facebook founder, you see the Grab. These are more to the younger men generation or Feng Shui formation that assists them. And period 9 comes to a female formation where it will assist the ladies. So in both ways, it doesn't mean that the other party cannot perform, but it is just an enhancer. So period 9 will focus a little bit more to the female, and the formation of energy changes in period 9. So that is the period 9 thing that we are talking about. We will go deeper into period 9 as we move on to like career topics. The first one, what is the hand holding yin yang? Actually, in Chinese metaphysics, we talk about yin yang. So even in astrology or Feng Shui, everything talks about balance. So there is a strong and a weak, there's a bright and there's a dark. So it talks everything about balancing or achieving balance. So in Feng Shui or astrology, we try to achieve a balance. So that is to do with the system, or to summarize how a Chinese metaphysics system works. Okay. With the second screen is the second screen. This is called Chinese astrology. So what you have been always listening to is the dragon. That's what you have been always listening to, or the dragon year, the pig year, or the rooster year. Okay, that we are actually talking about the year of birth. You look at the column of year. Can you see a wood and a dragon there?
Yep.
Yeah. So that is what you all have been looking at all the years. I think I've shown this last year too, but that one was a bit complicated. How to get this chart? Very simple. You can go to any, you can type 4 pillars or the 4 pillars calculator. You should be able to find something like that, and you put in your day of birth. It will give you actually 4 pillars, either the year, the month, the day, the hour. So you can notice that actually you have more than one type, or chances to have more than one type of animal in your chart. In Chinese metaphysics, why do we have an animal? Actually, this is called the farmer's calendar or the Chinese calendar. They use the animal to represent the calendar system, so that it's easier for the farmers to remember the calendar. That's the reason why the animal have been put in there. And we actually have 4. So we have the year, the month, the day, the hour. So what normally we are talking about in the market in general is the year, and which is not a very complete information, but well, it is for like, if you look at astrology, you will say, hey, born in the month of October is Libra, born in March, you are Aries. So that's incomplete information, because in astrology, you also have 9 planets, but now they say scientifically you have 8, but 9 planets which represent the entire astrology. It goes with our month, year too. So that's the full information of astrology. In Chinese astrology, we also have this, which is we need the entire birth details, including the hour of birth, to be able to find the 4 pillars there. So every year where they talk about, dragon is dog is no good because it's dragon year, actually they are talking about the year pillar effect. So if you have, unless you have 4, if let's say in the dragon year, dog is no good unless you have 4 dogs in your chart, which is the year, day, month, hour, that it will have effect on you. If not, you only have 1 like this, he only has 1 dragon there. So if the prediction were to say dragon is no good, it's only applicable to 1 column represent 25% of your life. So the bottom will only take 12.5. So actually the accuracy is accurate, but it's only to 12.5. Unless you have 4 of them the same, then you will get at least a 50% accuracy. So do not get too worried when you see, oh, I'm a dog, they say this year dragon year, dog is no good. Unless you have 4. How to find out? I already told you. You can go to any of the website to find out. Then you will get a more accurate reading on
or they get in touch with you, Ray.
Yeah, but let me educate you a little bit more so that you don't frighten yourself by incomplete information. It's like people doing a blood reading. Say, hey, type A, you will have this kind of sickness. Not everybody type A will have that kind of sickness. It's not necessary. It's because it's a partial information. So I'm trying to tell you, this is partial information. Okay, so then there is another system. They use the entire 八字 of the day. 八字 is, when we say 八字, means 八 is 8, 字 is character. So when they say 八字 in Chinese, it talks about 8 character. You tell me there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, 4 pillars have 8 characters there, the top and the bottom. So when they call it 八字, they are actually talking about this. Okay, so they will use the year, let's say in 2024, they will use the beginning of 2024 to give you a chart and do a reading and says that this is how a year of the country or the place like. But actually, in the old days, it was never used in this way. It only could be used in this way because last time China was a very enclosed place. It was never open to
outside
other countries or other. So that time there was some accuracy there. But then again, when they do this reading in China, they base it on the emperor's 八字, means the emperor's date of birth or the emperor's Chinese astrology. So when you match that together, you can roughly do a reading of the place. But by just using one, it is not enough. And we are already globalized. Every country has a king or a president. So every one of them will be different. Okay, back to Malaysia. You see, when I put this slide here, you can see the bottom is Madani. So how do we know Malaysia is doing good or not good? That will very strongly dependent on the person that runs it. Okay, our PM that runs it will determine how his chart will determine, of course, not only determine the country, but also determine on himself. I've said the last year, he has a certain, when he moves into the new cycle in 2023, he has stepped into the position and he's able to gain it. Just like you, Hanie, when you step into the first year of your 10-year cycle, when you are good, immediately you will see the result. So when he moved into the new cycle, immediately he is able to sit up there. Okay, don't ask me how I got his chart. Okay, but that is his chart. So his chart, I've already mentioned. To know to know how well Malaysia will do will also depend on his chart. His chart definitely will bring Malaysia to a different level in terms of reputation. And you can see the moment he sit up there, we start to get a little bit more FDI as compared previously. We have recovered slightly, whether in name to be good or in name to be bad, we have recovered slightly in terms of the reputation, because we need to repair our reputation before we get more FDI. But you could see some of the projects are moving, FDIs are moving in. So he definitely have that luck to influence Malaysia to get into that level. But his weakness is in people below him. I hope he doesn't get any problem from there. If he does, then I only can say, because our country luck sticks to his chart. So if he tumbles, then I do not know what will happen again. But on his tenure, he will be able to bring us higher in terms of reputation, and of course slowly repair our name. Okay, and that also can bring us in the a bigger picture to improve, as if provided he can still maintain in position. I'm only basing on his chart. Neither am I a supporter or in his party. I'm not, but I'm just reading based on metaphysics chart. Okay, so if he stays on, we will have a chance to grow again, to be fame again. Of course, sometimes the fame could come in a bad way, but it could also come in a good way. Okay, because fame in Chinese metaphysics can come in two ways, being a nama busuk or glamour. So we can have that chance, provided he's not slandered down, because he has a very big weakness in his chart, that he may be pulled down or somebody may stab him from behind. That is seen in his chart. Okay, so that will show how we will perform. Okay, and of course this year he has some rise in reputation. The only thing about his is more to his family members, where he will have a little bit more problems in his own internal family things. Okay, but that has nothing to do with the country. Okay, so that's the summary of how Malaysia will be affected by the chief. It's just like, remember I told you, Hanie, last year, any big company, whether the company you want to know is doing well or not well, you just need to look at one person, the chief. He will determine his cycle, his chart will determine how well he will make the company grow. Every time when you see a very successful company, when we open his chart, we will know it is very strong. And when the company tumbles, start to have heavy debts, when you look at the chief chart, you will know what is going on and
it
why.
Will affect, right?
Yes, because he's the chief. It's like the emperor, the chief, the CEO. So in a company, sometimes you want your company to run well. Putting good heads in your company or department actually does improve the running of the department or the company. And that's why we call about HR. You see in China, in the old days, every generals or every big position in China that you goes up in the palace or in the dynasty, all of them have to submit their birth dates. Why? Because king will do a selection. He will have a panel of astrologists inside their palace to do selection. And do you know many of the big corporation in China or in Chinese run corporation, why do they ask for your birth cert and time? Because they are doing selection. It's not that they are not hiring or not hiring you. They are actually doing a selection to match you, because every one of us have different strength. So some of us will be better in sales, in strategy, in planning. So you'll be different people will have different strength. And of course, they also need to know that whether are you
trying to find the fit, Ray?
Yeah.
Interesting. Imagine, I've not seen this before, but you did mention it a few times in our previous session, that some companies are actually asking candidates to submit their even time of birth, so that they can take a look at the charts. I've not seen this yet.
Even in Hong Kong, a lot.
Really?
Taiwan, a lot. They
Oh,
just want, of
wow.
course, they only ask for the top position. They sometimes,
Right.
even top position wise, sometimes they invite you out for a chat. The bosses may ask you. And sometimes, not only because they want to know you, in Feng Shui, when we position certain people in certain area to be able to tap the energy, we need that too, because we need that information to fit in the right people sitting at the right place to tap the energy. It is needed. So all Chinese metaphysics will require this kind, even in Chinese medicine, all this kind of the so-called birth details, Feng Shui information is used, the foundations is used the same across all the Chinese metaphysics.
Almost like profiling or assessment of sort, trying to find the strength of a person, trying to find that fit into where they would be better serving to the organization. Very, very interesting.
So you see, all this information where you are, we call it the Chinese metaphysics, actually have, every one of them have many information inside. Like what you see here, you see a big metal there on top. Metal is a kind of energy, and then it has its color too. So when it's very dynamic, you use together, you can use many things. Like one of the video I've spoken before about colors, why some of them say a color of the year. You can derive your color of year from many ways. One is through your year pillar, which I told you, like the wood dragon, which is green. Or some will say, okay, because of the study of 5 elements, which control which produce which, where we will get the wealth factor, then they will use different color to match it. So it's a very dynamic thing with many information inside. So how you present or how you utilize have many systems and ways, and also how you practice it. So that is a very huge in the old days, this kind of knowledge in China is not available to the public. It is only available to the elites, the rich, or the people that is serving the emperor. They do not even have this in the common public. So these are called the upper knowledge.
Wow, so privileged, kan?
Even in Korea nowadays, this kind of information, like the face reading information, all this knowledge is not let go in the public. It's only hold in the elite society.
Interesting. Yeah, but you are doing so much for, for the community already. You've been doing a lot of, community work, not just for businesses, for people, and all that. By the way, everyone, Ray is very active in contributing back to the community by working, with businesses, trying to find alignment even at burial sites as well. So I think that's very brave of him.
Okay, so that is the year or Chinese astrology we are talking about. So next time when you hear that, let's say this is a year of the dragon. So if you're a dog, don't worry, because you may not be your birth or Chinese astrology may be not only having 4 dogs, you could only be 1, so the accuracy is only 12.5. so do not get too worried about that.
So coming
to read, sorry, I missed out. Then how do we read it accurately? Of course, you must have all the information, like what I did for Hanie and Edis. You need the entire chart given to a practitioner, and they will spend time analyzing your chart, and then after that to give you an answer out from the chart. That's how you do a proper, and it means if you want to do a thorough body checkup, you have to do many tests, not one test with a finger and tells you, okay, your health is good or bad. It is impossible, it is impossible. You need to have thorough tests. So he needs to have full information, and after he analyzes, he sit down and he talk to you, especially if you have any queries. For example, you are in the midst of changing job, or you are in midst of failing relationship, then you want to find out what is ahead. That's why when I meet a depressed person, it's most important that I get to meet them, because then I can talk to them and let them know most of the time when a person is depressed or commit suicide is because they do not know or they have lost all hope in their life. But if you can give them a pointer ahead, then they will know if they can plan or is there hope in front. So when you change a job or when you change a relationship or in a failing relationship, you can actually plan ahead. You can focus on things that really matters or strong in your chart or in your life. So that's how we do a complete reading and how we do planning for you.
So for our Dragon Boy this year and for Dragon Fire in general, Ray, I together with George, we can feel it in our bones lah. It's going to be like a, really fantastic year.
Yeah, because you have a good chart. I can tell you from your chart, I know you this 10 years you're going to bring the company ahead.
Hopefully.
Not hopefully, it's in your chart. It is, they call it's in your destiny. And it happened when I said it before it happened, and true enough, last year it happened.
Yes, I remember that conversation at in Taman Tun. I thought that was very, very interesting.
Mama.
Ray.
In the mama.
Yeah, Mama, Q Bistro, okay? I love that. Ray, can you share with us and our friends here, are there any practical tips that you can, share with our friends? Practical tips in terms of for those who are, looking out for a job and all that, what would be things in general that they need to do or look out for, things that they need to change, for example?
Okay. The first answer will be related to Chinese metaphysics. When you hear that you are good for wood element job, I'm sure you have heard of this. You're good for metal element job. Please forget it, because that information or that system is no more working in new world. It is working last time because why? In China there was only 72 types of career. So it's easy to classify. Now I don't think you can even keep a count, because every day there will be something new. For example, an influencer, it is very different from a brand ambassador last time. And there are many things like selling in Shopee. It does not exist in the previous time. So there are many new careers. So how do you base this when you do a proper astrology reading? You go based on your experience and strength and your luck cycle. If you are in luck cycle, good luck cycle, if you choose something that you are familiar with, of course you will still do well. You do very well. But if you choose something that you're not familiar, you won't do too bad because you're in the good luck cycle. But when you're in the bad luck cycle, please choose something you're familiar, because we know, even scientifically or logically tells you, you will do well in a terrain that you know well. If not, you will fall very hard. So always choose something that you are well-versed, or you you have better resources or opportunity. Then you add in the luck cycle to know whether how much risk you shall be taking. For example, if you know that you're in a bad luck cycle, although you're so bored with the job, you say, okay, I'm bored, I want to change. Have you seen the consequences? Because we have done a lot of reading, we know. Have you seen the consequences of people leaving the job? Yes, he's bored. Then after that, he can never find a good job again. Then how are you going to go back?
Difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, so you plan not only based on astrology or data, you also add in some common sense, which you always choose something in the range of your capacity or your capability. I still remember a couple of years back, there was a lady who came and do a consult with me because she was very worried that one of the friend brought her to see me because suddenly she wanted to change her job. She's a data analyst. And there was a person who tell him, I think he was a numerology reader or something like that, tell her, hey, you have to change your job. You are more suitable to a water kind of job. So told her to change to a seafood selling job. So I asked her, is your family doing seafood? No.
I said no.
You know anything about seafood? No.
No.
I said, then why do you want to change the job? Oh,
Ah,
she said, because I'm very bored with my data analyst job, so I want to change. I said, but you change within your means, you change within your capability. If you like, if you really want to put in the water, then maybe you go into the seafood industry as an analyst. You don't go and quit the job and start selling seafood.
yes.
That's not the right
Doesn't
way
make
to.
sense.
Yeah, so it happened. So I told her, why don't you, since you're bored, then I asked her, you're in what industry? She said she's in the insurance data analysis. Okay, well, maybe that's a bit monotonous. I said, have you tried banking? She said, no. I said, you know how interesting banking is? That was about 1-2 years ago. Banking is starting apps, starting data, starting many new things. You will be very entertained there if you choose such a challenging job. Then she thought about it. Well, oh yeah, true. Then at least she doesn't jump out from what
It doesn't make sense at all.
I'm not saying that you cannot change job, but plan properly.
Yes.
Don't take insufficient information. Don't use common sense and do a change. That's dangerous.
And I totally agree with you. Even, you know, as a career coach, I would not hesitate to tell this lady, you know, don't just simply jump into the next role that she doesn't know anything. So basically, Ray, Year of the Wood Dragon, how is this different from the other Year of the Dragon?
Okay, last year when we talked about the rabbit, which was the water rabbit, I told you there will be a starting of a lot of innovation businesses. So if the innovation thing hit the right palaces in your Chinese astrology, if you are innovative, you'll be able to start any new projects.
Right.
Okay, that was the water rabbit year. And this year, okay, it is more to beauty, entertainment, and artistic kind of feel. So it is a little bit also more in line to what I'm talking about Chinese astrology. I have not even come to Feng Shui yet. Chinese astrology, this talks about a little bit more to the artistic, more to the entertainment feel. Will be there will be some opportunities coming from this, but the danger is to the male. Why? Because this year some of the male will get a little more problems and disputes in general in the current year, and it's also in line with the 2024 period 9 change, because when the female starts to have a little bit more opportunity, direct or indirect, may have a little loss of opportunity on the male side. Why? Because when they are about to get up or take up a position or take up an opportunity, definitely you'll be lesser opportunity there. So it's a minor hiccup for the year for the male. If it falls in your career palaces in your Chinese astrology, then it may affect you a little bit on your side. Okay, but then again, if you're careful, it's still okay, because it's just a minor hiccup. Okay, so that is in general what the effect of the dragon year. If it falls in the right palace, it will affect the male, and if you fall into the right industry, it will give you a little bit boom or opportunity in that industry. But that then again, it still depends on your individual chart, because if your chart is very fantastic in this year, okay, it's like Hanie move into a better 10 years. No matter what kind of period or problem that she faced, she'll be in general not too bad. So your own chart will be the main judge of your cycle or your opportunity. The year will have is like a fine tune. So when we go to the Feng Shui part, I will tell you what is the original and the affected annual thing.
Ray, we have a question from Raza here.
Yes.
This is interesting question. Razak, by the way, is in education industry. So what do you think? What's the outlook generally this year?
Razak's question or your question? Or
that's Razak's question. He said, how about education industry in 2024?
Okay, like I repeat, okay, there is no specific reading on a chart on a particular year or country or education. It entirely depends on individual or industry. If the person leading, for example, if the person leading Sunway University, he's in a good luck cycle, then he will definitely, his uni or his education platform will do much better than another person. So it is entirely depending on the leader of your division that controls your business. There's no general, in Chinese metaphysics, there is no general reading for entire, because even no matter how bad one industry is, there will be some heroes inside.
Something good, right?
It is not applicable as in general. It is individual or by company basis.
Understand.
But period 9 in Feng Shui actually talks about education. That is different from Chinese astrology. The boom of education, entertainment industry or leisure industry is on the rise. So in these 20 years in Feng Shui, it is actually has the energy to boost up this kind of industry, where you talk about more on education, you talk more about in entertainment, ladies industry, beauty. These are the things that is going to be on the rise.
Interesting. Ladies industry, wellness, health,
entertainment,
beauty,
anything to do with fire, which is from the Feng Shui aspect, will be able to utilize some of the energy boost from that particular thing. But of course, as our new industry, there are many things related to fire. Last time was only if you are working in the coal mine or kitchen. Kitchen is also one of them. F&B, it's related to fire, but now it's coexist in so many ways, like the internet. So many things can be correlated.
Right. So I'm always curious, right, about I understand from my reading that all these animals have their own characteristics.
Yep.
Right. And wood dragon, how is that wood dragon? And after this, Ray, maybe we can accept a few questions from our friends here
Yes. Okay. Wood dragon. You see, wood dragon is only in your year pillar. To actually read a character, you need the 4 pillars all together, because all of them will have different character mixed together. You will be able to form one. So in a general character, if you use that to read, okay, you see, dragon in Chinese is the only symbol that does not exist in terms of the animal chart.
Correct.
So
There's no animal.
They put it like a very special kind of thing. So it gives them a character of being strong and all this. But you see, if you use that to read, it will be inaccurate, because the day that you are born have an animal let's take, for example, we're looking at this. That's talking about the dog. So you will have different character forming out from your day pillar too. So you have to get the 4 of them, balance in, and read a proper character of the chart.
Makes sense. Okay, so we're opening up a couple of questions from our friends. I'm just being mindful over time. It is 11.
I have not finished the Feng Shui part, which I have to give you all some tips.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so this is this chart talks about the 2024 Feng Shui. As I told you, our house have an original formation, means the foundation of the feng shui comes from our original house. Then there is a yearly inflection of feng shui coming yearly. This changes yearly. Every year I will post something like that to give you a tips on how to actually avoid some small pitfalls from the feng shui part. Like if you see a robber there, or when you see a skeleton there, or you see a six sign there in that particular direction, the six sign is showing in the southeast direction. So maybe you can put some metal items, or maybe a bell or a heavy metal. You don't need to actually buy anything expensive. You can just off the hand get some metal stuff to put it in these few areas to soften the sickness energy of that particular direction or location. So if you see that you have a book there, a love sign there, that's enhancement of research, academic, and relationship. So you can maybe put some flowers there to activate the place.
Buku boleh?
Yes, can.
Okay.
But this is just I would say to enhance the energy. Okay, but that is only for year. It is not even for original. So if you want to put something small there to help, it's no harm putting. Because why I say no harm? Because the original chart, that location of northwest, the one that you say buku one, could be a not good area for your house. So you cannot simply activate it in a very big way. But if you just put a flower or a book there, okay, because it's just a small item. It's just like a small booster. But it is still recommended to not simply position it if you do not know it well. But if you know, then you can use it, or put a small item just to trigger. For example, look at the east side. You know, there is some helping from your, I would say, people helping you, or networking luck. Or the southwest is where the opportunity. In Chinese metaphysics, we call it the wealth luck, but actually the true meaning is called an opportunity luck. Means people giving you an opportunity. Like if your boss or somebody, or a big 𝗬𝗘𝗕𝗏 give you a big project, he does not actually give you money immediately. Right, give you an opportunity to make money. So it's called the opportunity luck. So these are the few locations you can try to do something about it in terms of yearly feng shui. But remember, remove it in 2025. It is only applicable to 2024 formation.
Or better still, call Master Ray to do reading.
Yes, can.
Right?
That is Chinese astrology.
Get it more accurate. Okay.
But in the Chinese society, this is done almost every year. That's why in the next slide is about the choosing date. But this, you will see the Chinese sometimes will buy some wind chime, put some fish tank. This is actually what they are doing. They are following the yearly chart to do something to enhance their office or house. So this I'm sharing with you so that you know actually what are they doing. They are actually doing this.
Okay, cool.
They use the yearly chart to boost or enhance their feng shui.
Yeah. Ray, I'm just looking at time here. We are at 11:56, so we have a few
coming
more
to the
minutes.
third chart.
I'm just thinking whether should we take in quick question now, because I'm just mindful of
before any question come in, I can go along talking until you tell me what's the question coming up.
Let's hear now. Any question coming from our friends? So there was one question coming again from Raza. He said, how about Tiger in 2024? I think I recalling what you said, there's no specific reading unless it should be read as a whole. So Raza, I suggest you get in touch with Ray if you want to do some reading for this year. Then it will be more specific. It's just like getting health check, right? So cannot just simply put your pulse, check your pulse and say, hey, you know what, your blood pressure will be better this year. I think you need to do a little bit of medical checkup and all that.
Okay, just to further and answer that, presumably I tell you, tiger is good for 2024. Okay. If you have 4 tigers, yes, you may get it. But if you only have 1, you get 12.5% off the good. Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Mm.
Makes sense. Okay, so date selection. What are we looking at here?
Okay, this is what the Chinese used to. They will select some good days to start their work. Means after they take a holiday, sometimes you see why some tauke only start office on the 4th day, 5th day, 6th day of Chinese New Year.
Yes,
This is
yes.
actually what they have been following every year.
Oh.
My followers will ask me, hey, can I have the dates? I got this question in December. I say, hey, can you post? I say, hey, it's only December, you know. He say, I need to take leave 2 months ahead, you know. Okay.
Okay,
So
makes
they have to
sense.
come up with dates so that they can start. This is just a cultural practice of the Chinese. Okay, so I share with you, if you like to use it. Sometimes, you know, you may have a lot of leave and you want to maybe take a few more days off. So these are something you can base it on. But do read the disclaimer. There are details inside what you can use, what you cannot use. It's no big thing. It's just a cultural thing. So I share with you where
Sure.
most of the Chinese will practice and follow these days. That's why you see sometimes why some colleague only come back on particular day. So actually
Correct.
doing this.
Yeah. Now we know. So I'm also going to look out for the Wednesday 21st Feb rate because I'm a rooster. So I want to see what's happening.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, we have just hit 12 o'clock. Would you please share your contact? There you go.
You can take a phone and scan on it. This is how the digital world starts. You take your phone, point at it. If you want my information, it's there.
You know what they say nowadays? It's okay to lose a wallet, but not to lose your mobile phone.
Yeah, of course, because your credit is there.
Ah,
Now, yes, honey, nowadays I don't even carry my name card because sometimes I tend to forget to carry it. So I will carry this photo in my phone. And if you want my contact, I turn on this photo. You just point your phone there, you get my full contact.
There you go. So everyone, feel free to connect with Ray. And you know, if you want to get your reading or just have a chit chat with him, do get in touch with Ray. He runs classes as well. Intan, okay, so Intan has a question, Ray. Is a presentation slide the same with the one shared here? It's a little bit different, isn't it? Because there's
no, it doesn't have the first one, which that's just a logo, and it doesn't have the last one because that's the contact. 1, 2, 3 is the same.
The same, yes, yeah. So so he does reading for businesses as well as personal reading, but he also runs classes. And that's very I think that's something very, very different. Classes we've even talked about running classes for talent selection. It's just like having your interview, but with an add-on element of you know, adding this particular layer, which is just similar to profiling or assessment and all that.
But this is the old method. Hanie using is the new scientific method. This is old China method.
Yeah, but it also I'm very, very sure it derived from some scientific
data.
Data as well, because it's all from data point. Okay. All right. So with that, I hate to end the session, but we have come to our end. Again, do get in touch with Ray through the QR code. He is also on LinkedIn as well as Facebook, so do connect with him. So for those of you who have enjoyed this session, do share in your social media on LinkedIn. Do tag us at Dragonfire, and I do hope you know, the year has kicked off very, very well for everyone. And I hope to see everyone again very soon. We run this particular session quite often, so do follow my LinkedIn in terms of getting some updates on the when is the next session. So we run Where Dragons Meet, we run When Dragons Meet. So all of this is surrounding the dragon theme. So all the best, guys. And Ray, thank you very much from the bottom of
Thank
our
you
hearts.
everyone for
And
asking question and participating.
yes, thank you again. So hope to see you over coffee. Oh, by having said that, let us take a quick photo. Let me just pause record.